Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Great Awakening Generator. I am Rose McNair, and I have with me today the wonderful Gail Frances. Welcome, Gail.
Thank you very much.
Great.
Thank you.
So, Gail, as we were speaking before, and everybody, I'm sorry, we're going to go into this right away. As I was speaking to Gail earlier, and before I got ready for this interview, or as I was getting ready for this interview, I was asked to do a welcome to Gail on the recording and to do some light language. So the light language is welcoming Gail, but it's welcoming all of her squad in spirit. It's welcoming everyone that's listening and watching, all of us. Kuruma kataftarana khaida. Namaste, Gail. We honor the ground you walk on for all the work that you have done on this planet. And this time and many, 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 many other times. Thank you. Welcome.
Rose, thank you very much. My team is wanting to respond likewise, sweetheart. Manahashi kana mahina, manahashi kinya, nahashi kamana mahatakina. Nena eshi kinya tukana mahashi kana mana. And they're keeping it short and sweet, just with this shikama nehina manahashi kimanana asakanasa. Much love and light and joy. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you. I'm so excited. It's wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. I feel so happy after that.
Yes,
Oh my
we
gosh.
laugh a lot.
Yeah, I love it. That's why it's got to be fun. It's got to be fun.
Yes.
Easy and fun. Gail Frances, Healing Facilitator. You're doing it through things like art, poetry, and writing. Wow. And of course, the light language. Wow, Gail, that's something. Tell us a little bit about you and, your world and how you got started on this even.
Well, being in my golden years, that could be a long story, but I'll keep it very short. So I was born just before the end of the Second World War. And so I've grown up, I've known what scarcity is, and I've known what hard work is. And I've also known what it's like to have two parents who love each other. My father was actually invalided home from the war. Two parents who love each other, but who honoured me as a firstborn and honoured my passion. They didn't have two pennies to rub together, let alone buy me a sable brush for my painting when I started college. But I used to sit at the table and draw. I loved. I'm a dreamer. I'm an Aquarian sun, Aquarian moon, and my Sagittarius rising is my outlandish side of myself that tends to get me into a bit of trouble. But however, I have this saying: if it's not fun, I'm not playing. And so I find great joy in the fulfilling my unlimited potential, which has manifested through my lifetimes. And it's manifested at those times where a lot of the time, you're going through extreme hardship in whatever way that is. So, when I was at college, I just wanted to be an artist. And of course, back in those days, females weren't artists and they were encouraged to be doctors, dentists, you name it. But my parents honored me there, and it's grown from there on many different ways until I started. I'm a painting teacher. I've been a painting teacher for so many years. When I retired from teaching, that's when all my spiritual paintings started coming in. And my beautiful sisters, who you will meet them on Saturday, we had a trip over to Peru, and I wanted to take a painting because I knew we would be working with this beautiful shaman. And my team said, yes, we want you to do 4 paintings. Well, I was leaving. We were leaving in about 10 days, and so I went into panic. But that was my mind. That was my humanness. So pass it over to my team, and I get given 4 little paintings. They're about 6 inches, 8 inches square of the 4 elements, not the ether, and so those were gifted to the shaman. And ever since then, I've been painting everything that I've been given. So from a fine artist teaching landscapes and portraits and you name it, where there was that level of perfection, a building had to look like a building, and a mountain had to look like the specific mountain that was being portrayed. In my spiritual painting, it just flows. So my team, I'm always I take myself into meditation. For me, it's not possible for me to manifest in the 3D realm. That's of the mind, and it doesn't work. So I take myself into that elevated space and connect with my team. They laugh a lot. We have a lot of fun together. And I'm given the colors of a painting, and I'm given in my inner sight any specific symbols. And the painting is created when I'm in that elevated space. I would say it's a 5th dimensional, yes. And this is my team saying yes. It's a 5th dimensional space where anything's possible and magic happens. And I cry a lot and I laugh a lot.
That's good.
So anyone who knows anything about painting will know that when you mix 2 or more colors together, 2 colors is okay unless you're mixing 2 opposites. You can get mud. So generally I get given 3 or 4 colors. The last painting, which will be shared with all those listening later on, one of them I was given 7 colors.
Okay.
And I went into my mind and I thought, how is this possible? With everything I know in all these years, I thought there's no way I can put all those colors into a container and pour them on at once. So I handed it over. I said, okay, guys, thank you. I look forward to this. I'm excited. Will you please mix the paints for me and aid the flow, steer the flow of the colors across the canvas? And they did. They did. And I was just left in absolute awe at the painting. And this is what happens because we're not attached. We just follow our passion, do what we're here to do, and a very high level of trust and faith. And I look at what comes out at the end, and I can be bawling my eyes out. So after the painting part is finished, then the paintings get energized with the light language, which is, the light through my fingers and the language through my voice. And then I'm given the description that goes on the reverse.
Okay. That's awesome.
So that's long story short.
I really love that you gave it simply what the process is and how because so many people watching might want to try this. And that is it. It comes back to intuition, doesn't it? It comes back to, okay, who's going to be the one? You're the instrument, they are the intuition. And if you, the instrument, will allow the intuition to take over, your intuition to take over, your team to take over, you come up with these amazing things, which I'm looking at behind you anyway. This is one of your paintings behind you. Is that right?
Yes, yes, it is.
It's amazing. Does it have light language symbols on the outside? Is that
Yes,
what
it
that is?
does. Yes, it
Okay.
does. And this is, I'll just speak very briefly about when I first started painting these. It was many years ago, and the first two paintings, one was called Wings of Life, and the other one was called um, um, The Return of the Dove. And they're quite big paintings, and there's the portal that you see around the images. And those two paintings remained unfinished for nearly 3 years because I
Okay.
didn't know what to do. Then, long story short, met this chap at a New Spirit festival, a New Year's festival, and there was a group of us sitting in the caravan. This young man wrote me a letter in light language. He gave me this, yeah, and I've still got it. And I got a piece of paper and I wrote light language back to him.
Okay.
And it's the
Wow.
first time I had written that. So, I mean, he was over from England, and
Okay.
basically he'd come to activate that in me, and I was able to go home and finish those paintings.
Wow, that's awesome. That's just awesome because I've started writing light language now.
Yes,
And I've started it since the cat had passed away. So the cat that passed away, my cat, is my cat because he adopted me. So,
yes.
that kind of thing. And, he's buried here in the back garden. He was the guardian of this land. And it was really interesting because even after he's gone, he's giving so much after that. And I'm finding a lot of my creativity coming out because I started to paint some stones for his little resting place. And then one day I was painting a stone for him. And then I just found myself doing this and I realized, oh, that's actually my light language. I'd done it all. And then I thought, I think that's my light language because when you can get tripped up about these things that are already in you.
Yes.
So yeah, so thank you for sharing your process because that helps me too to think, well, okay, because now I've got my canvases sitting here. I'm supposed to be doing some artwork, and I keep putting it off. There's just a couple of projects I've got on the go that I need to finish. My guides are actually saying, do it quickly because you need to get on with all these other things that are waiting for you. So it's going to
Yes.
change my life. But anyway, coming back to what we are talking about now, I don't mean to digress because I can digress very well. Um, Gail, I love that, you told us about you, and I feel your passion about your art and about your light language. But tell me this though, how does like facilitation or healing facilitator, how do you connect that with you obviously using the art, you are using poetry, you're using your writings and your light language. How do you use that to heal? How are they connected in terms of healing?
Well, everything's interconnected because everything's energy.
Yes.
And just speaking now, when it comes together on the same vibrational level, then it fits.
Yeah.
It fits like a jigsaw puzzle. So I think what probably most people don't realize, they think that they are that it is their mind that's creating everything, when in actual fact it's not. Everything that we create, no matter what it is, whether it's Einstein doing his thing or whatever, it actually comes from our highest self, and it's filtered down. Um, it's filtered down. So I was listening to someone talk the other day, and he spoke. I thought, that's it. That's it. So the higher self is the conceiver, and then it comes down to the, oh God, I've forgotten that. Anyway, and by the time it gets down to the mind is the receiver. And
Yes.
it was a bit like, when you look at conception, and that just made sense. And it takes the mind out of the way, because if I'm painting one of these, I just call them magic paintings, and I, for whatever reason, come back into my mind, into the 3D space, I can't complete it. I've
Okay.
got to be in that elevated space of the higher self to be able to complete all that my team give me.
Okay. Okay. So now I come to this, and we're going to talk about your team very shortly, because I would like us at this point to talk about, I know what you do. You do painting. I know that you're doing poetry, you're doing art, you're doing writing. What is it that you are doing? I know we're going to talk about offerings to the collective, but offerings to the collective, I feel like it's too far down. I want to talk about it now in terms of, okay, so if I came to Gail and I wanted what kind of help would I come to for you? I'll say it the other way around. What kind of help would I be seeking in terms of intuition, guidance when I came to you? Like,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. So a lot of people that come, they don't know what they need. They just feel it. Because if they knew what it was, then they could ask for the tools. And we all have those tools within that inner journey. And we all are able to connect with our inner guidance, that highest, I am all that I am, with practice. And it's like we simply have to do that inner journey and empty ourselves out so we can fill ourselves up with the good stuff.
Yeah.
Because it's only our old baggage that's blocking so much stuff. It blocks our passions. To me, life is about passion. It doesn't matter whether it's building houses or gardening, and I can talk about passion for ages. So when people come to me, they might come with a preconceived idea, which of course is of the mind. But when they get on the table, or when we're working on Zoom like we are now, it takes a totally different path, because we're both parties are allowing our teams to take over. It's the trust.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
trust, getting the head out of the way.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. And so do you do a modality like Reiki as part of your healing? Do you do just working with your squad in spirit to bring guidance, giving wisdom, understanding, knowledge, that kind of thing? How does it work for you?
Okay, so many years ago when I first started, I was given that I didn't need to do Reiki.
Okay.
That we all these modalities, they have specific names, but in actual fact it's all energy, and it's all doing a very similar resulting it's a similar process, isn't it?
Yeah,
So we're
exactly.
bringing through the energies of the divine, of the universe, of God, call it what you will, to help heal, balance and restore.
Yeah.
And I can remember all those years ago, I sat at my dining room table and I said to my team, well, what is it I do? I was expecting a name, because people expect, well, what do you do? So I am blessed to bring through the Christ energies to help heal, balance and restore on all levels.
Yes.
And that can take many forms. And
Yeah.
that is exactly what's happened with my own gifts.
I like that, because I feel like I did a healing session with somebody last week. I mean, I I even laughed because I said that. I just said what I said. So I've had a few healing sessions in the last, month or so that I've done with people, and I've noticed that if I just tune into my guidance, then I get something specific for that person. I don't
Yes.
necessarily it's like, I am not a Reiki master. I have nothing to do with Reiki, but I can tell you that I have heat of healing in my hands. I know that if I do my light language, I can feel heat coming through my hands, and sometimes I've even had a thing where, before I actually started doing sessions with people, and I'm doing sessions, but I'm not doing sessions, so to speak of, it's just kind of started. So if somebody needs it, they come along and we talk about it and we do it. And so, but what I noticed when I started really getting into my light language, because coming back to that, and I've started getting into my light language now in the last 2 or 3 years. I did it when I was 16, and then I did it again many years later. Speaking in tongues is what we called it then. And now we are grown up into that language. It's no longer the baby language that is speaking in tongues. It is now we are now light languages, or light, I call ourselves us light languagers, but we are doing light language because we've grown up, we've evolved in us in terms of intuition to do this. But nevertheless, what I noticed was that sometimes when I would be doing something on Zoom, I did this for a group of people that I did some work with the Arcturians with, and they just wanted to have the experience of it, and they knew I'd done it. And I noticed that heat would go through my hands, and I thought, oh, that means you could use light language for healing. Okay. And then I also one time was doing light language with somebody, and I had the urge, I had this download of I need to massage their hands, like, so it kind of does sort of bring in that moment different things that you didn't do before, or you didn't think you were going to do starting out. But I'm learning that it's actually about the individual. It's not saying this, tick these boxes. Because have you noticed how even energy healing, and I'm not putting any energy healing down, any modality down. Even energy healing had a way to do it. You follow that modality and you do it like that. Just before 2020 happened, people were, I'm a Reiki master, I do it like this, and they would do everything by the book. What I have found in the last 4 years is, and very especially in 2023, because I was talking to a lot of energy healers, that guidance that they were getting, and they were, a lot of them not wanting to listen to it, was that you needed to change from the textbook.
Yes, absolutely.
You needed to find your voice you needed to
Yes.
bring in your intuition into this, not that textbook. Thank you.
Yes.
But it is the journey and everyone is taking it. But I just found, so I understand what you're saying. Yeah.
Yes. Well, I see it as, well, I can only speak for myself. So as my gifts have developed and expanded, and someone asks, the simplest way I can put it is, because my level of faith through my life experiences is expand, and it continues to expand, I simply offer a clear conduit for spirit.
Yes.
And
Yes.
we've just, as doing, I think, for all healers, if we've got to use that label, we just need to get out of our own way and allow that higher aspect of ourself. We're all one. We're all
Exactly.
one. We're all one with spirit. We're just on different dimensions, etc., or different timelines.
Yeah.
We're all one, and we can draw on any of those energies from any of our past lives where we've been what we might perceive as being, be high up, whatever,
Yeah.
doctor, whatever, we've been there, done so much.
Mm.
And so I encourage people on their inner journey, especially when they're looking for their passion, because a lot of people don't know what their passion is.
Yeah. Yeah.
They wonder why they don't feel good and get the joy out of life. So if we can take them, and I'm getting a bit sidetracked here, but we can take them back, hopefully, to their happy childhood or some time in their life, something where they have experienced joy, where they've felt totally at peace, take them to that, and allow them to realize that that they're in a higher vibration,
Yes.
and it's because that's what passion is. It's finding your passion and learning how to activate it without external influence. Because if
yes.
we share our passion too soon, while it's still developing and we're still, our wings are still growing, well, then there's always a knock, because, oh, you can't do that, oh, you're a Looney Tunes, etc., who do you think?
I
So,
often think, this, and this is a practice I've done on myself, is to always think how, and I don't do it often enough, because if I did do it often enough, I would be in a very different space now in terms of the challenges I've experienced, right? But I always think, if you can ask yourself, okay, so, we've got all these programming that's going on in our head that comes from childhood, that comes from being taught that way, or being told you have to behave a certain way. But if you wanted something, one example, and a common example, if you wanted to buy a house and you're struggling, for example, to create that reality, ask yourself how it would be if if you didn't have any constraints, if there was nothing stopping you. Keep dreaming about your house. That's the way you keep yourself dreaming about it. This is just an example. And this is the thing. If we can imagine our lives without any of those preconceptions or whatever, and say, well, you know what if I wanted to be in a happy space and I didn't think about, or if I wanted to run in the fields and I didn't think about all the prickles I would stub my feet on, or I didn't think, how would it feel running in that lush green field and smelling the flowers or whatever, and there were no dangers of bugs biting me or anything like that. You can put yourself in a perfect healthy space, right? It's just a simple trick. That's what I think anyway. And maybe I'm
Yes.
digressing now.
No, hey, look, it doesn't matter. Everything that we share is perfect.
Yeah, it
And I'm
is.
learning that, and I'm learning that more every day, that every moment of every day is absolutely perfect. Even if you stub your toe, whatever happens, there's that, it's just living in the moment.
Yeah.
And when you were talking about manifesting, and people wonder why they don't manifest, and I think it's something that some people are great at it, but it's that simple thing of whatever. I mean, I've got a vision board on my wall, and I look at it every night and I say thank you, and I imagine myself in this place doing what I love doing. It's my one focus.
Yeah.
And I know that when the time comes, because everything happens in a divine time, those vibrations have to level. Like, my past husband and I, we were looking to buy a house, and I saw this house for sale, and we knew we had to move out of Auckland. I saw this house for sale, and it was down in Coromandel, and my body went boop. And he was watching from the doorway. He said, "Oh, what is it?" And I wasn't willing to share at that moment, but I knew that that was our house. Okay, and so it's feeling yourself. Whatever you wish, if you want to buy a house, you decide where you can. I mean, I do a drawing. It's got to have this and it's got to have that, and it's not flash, it's just basic,
It's the
but
house
there's
you want
some
to be
things it
in.
has to have.
Yeah.
And I know it's there, and so when my vibration matches that of the house, then it manifests. Now, with this house that we bought, we actually had to wait for the male owner, to die.
Well,
Everything happened so quickly. We started looking at this time, and that would have been the time that this man was dying. Then it came on the market, and we were there. And I said to my husband, "Don't worry, it's ours." You know, everyone's there waiting for this auction, a room full. Hate auctions. Well, I'll change that thought. You know, and a big lesson, a big lesson. And
yeah,
this is what our life is. It's learning the lessons, and it's
absolutely.
trust,
Yeah. That's
trusting
cool.
fine.
Yeah, exactly.
Good fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Gail, let's talk about your guides. They have a
Yeah.
sense of humor, apparently, and a lot of creativity. But the guides
Oh,
are very creative. They can even teach you computer skills, by the way.
oh,
Mine have taught me a
yes.
few, and I'm like, oh my gosh. They're just like actually saying, you know how you were thinking about that? You know how you do this and you do that? Go there, click that button, do this. And you know what? Got my thing.
Yes.
My guides taught me how to do thumbnails for my videos that I put on YouTube. No one else.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Isn't it wonderful? I
Yes.
I adore my guides. I know they're with me all the time, and I know they're with me now because I'm really cold. And I don't get hot hands. I get really cold. And that's coming a hashikina.
Yeah.
And yes,
Yeah.
see, so
Good. Good. Yeah.
they're very keen. They're very keen to share. They make me. I laugh a lot with them, and they say, us human beings, we take life so seriously. So I laugh a lot, and they're just me, and I'm them. Um, and another long story short, when I was starting to take meditation evenings at our home, and this is many years ago, and it just happened. I was guided to, and I thought, well, God, how do you do that? I can do it for myself, but not with a
Yeah.
room full of people. So I used to go online and download one, and I'd print it off and I'd read it. And everyone was happy with me doing this. And after a while, I thought, look, I've got to trust. I've just got to trust. So one night I just went out there and sat there and opened myself and trusted. And my Arcturian team came through. Well, of course, they're hilarious. And the light language comes through. And I just laughed. We were all laughing because it sounded like a lot of chooks running around a chook. That's it. They're not serious. They're not serious. And laughter and joy is such a high vibration. So it's
Yeah.
finding, passion, finding the joy. If you lose your passion, how do you get your passion back? How do you get that joy back? And some people have to go back to their childhood, their favorite doll. Look, it doesn't matter what it is, to bring that joy and lift your vibration up into the eternal moment of now. And that to me is what heals us.
Yes.
And they're saying exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Do they have a name? Your collective?
My team, yes, my Arcturian team. There's a team of 3. There's
Yes.
A leader who's a very, very beautiful, tall being. I had this beautiful cat who I named Cosmos. She was a stray cat.
That's interesting.
Who came into our household. We found homes for her 2 kittens, and I kept, this was my cat. I was her owner. Not that I could ever own her. I called her Cosmos. She was a black and white rag doll, and she was just beautiful. During meditation nights, once a month, she would meet people at the door. She would walk around the circle, and she would sit on someone's lap who needed her energy.
Wow.
And she actually shortened her life. She took on too much negativity, took on more than she could transmute. So that was Cosmos. And then I asked my Arcturian team their names, and guess what? One's name was Cosmos. Yes. So, yes.
Yeah. And are you
That's the
telling us?
name of just.
Go on,
Pardon?
sorry. Are you telling? I was about to ask, are you going to tell us the names of the others? I'm so curious.
Oh, well, one of them's changed. A new higher being has come in.
Okay.
And his name is, so we've got Cosmos, Alto, and Orion. So he's a very tall presence, very powerful.
Okay.
Oh, okay, whoops. Namaste. I told you they laughed a lot.
Oh, I love it. You just wanted to speak. Oh my gosh. Oh, thank you. Honor. Oh,
We welcome you, dear one, and we honor the work that you do. Thank you. We would like to speak very briefly
yes, no?
that to let everyone know that there are more than just the 7 chakras that most people know, but we also have a joy chakra. And funnily enough, excuse the pun, our base chakra, where the human beings hold a lot of their baggage, Nanamashi Kanamaha, the joy chakra sits right next to it there once. And it is a beautiful, what you would call a bright magenta pink. It is a very joyful color. Mana etiki nana sanamaha. This one who speaks can activate your joy chakra today if you wish so. Mana hashik manasa.
Yeah. Yes, good. Thank you. We're definitely going to do that before you go today. We will do that at the end of it when you were talking about giving us a message.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. Okay, wow. That was amazing. So these are the guides that you work with, the Arcturian guides. Are there others? You probably work with others too.
Oh, yes. The team that we have is massive.
Yeah.
And if you I was blessed to be in a group of people where we we took ourselves into a very, very high level, and most of us saw our team. I will never forget seeing them. I will never. There's numerous. We have our guides, we have our ancients, we have Elohim, we have all our Christed extraterrestrial races, and we have all our ascended masters. They're all part of our team, overlighting us. It's just beautiful.
Yes.
Absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, it's amazing. And there's so many of them. And in a day, like I know with me, I work with the dragons, and I say this openly these days because I didn't think I was actually working with dragons. And then I was activated last year, and I was activated by someone last year without realizing that was the day my working with the dragons activation happened for me. And I have been working in the last few weeks more with the pink dragons from Venus.
Beautiful.
I work with a lot of dragons, but and I have my personal dragons. I have my personal earth dragon. Bilal, he stands next to me and plays jokes on me, but he loves me a lot. And then, but my dragon in the galaxy is the dark blue galactic dragon, because we traverse all realms, not I should say in the galaxy. We travel to all the universes and the planets and star systems, doing the work that we do. And so that's why I have to agree, we have a lot of guides. We have those that are close, that are here with us, that we are conscious of, but beyond that too, we have more. And they change because of our needs, because we are constantly evolving. And with the way we are evolving at the moment, the changes can be quite quickly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. We're definitely evolving very, very quickly now. Hence the need for hydration and rest, and a deep commitment to our connection with Mother Nature, the element kingdoms.
Can I ask before I move to my next question, because I was going to move to the next question and I'm just hearing ask the guides again. Is there anything more that you want to say about them? Is there anything more that they want to say to us?
Okay. So anything I want to say about my guides? Look, my only comment is my absolute gratitude. It's the deepest heart and soul felt gratitude. And I'm feeling quite emotional as they move closer. You're never alone. We're never alone, never alone. And I speak with my guides every day, every night before I sleep. They don't tell you what to do.
No.
This is part of the human experience of our free will. So if you got a guide that's telling you what to do, well, then you think very carefully. It's not a guide. It's someone who's perhaps an entity that's perhaps attracted to your light and is playing games with you. Karamashi Kimanya. And they're saying that it's very, very important for us, because this is our mind. This is when we slip into our mind, into that lower vibration. So again, bring us back into that heightened vibration of love, light, trust, faith, joy, everything that is of a high vibration. Kanama ishi kanmaha.
Yeah.
So anything they've just said that. Karata kimanya anamahisha. They're saying that they would like to activate the joy chakra in people who are open to receiving. And they're saying this will help balance out the chaos and the inconsistency, they're saying, of truth, which is a nice way of putting it. That everyone is being exposed to at this time. It will help them to be discerning, to take them into their intuition, feel the truth of what is happening, what is unfolding. Okay, thank you. Oh.
Wow. Yes. Good. Okay. How are we going? Hmm. Hmm. Are we okay to move on to the next question or anything else? Hey. Are we okay, Gail, to move to the next
Yes,
question? Yes.
absolutely. Thank
Light
you.
language. Light language. We were talking about light language. So you offer workshops on light language. Do you do that kind of thing?
No, no, I don't offer
Oh, okay, no. I
workshops.
thought someone had said that.
That's quite all right. That's quite all right. I'm not sure whether it's something you can teach, to be quite honest.
Can't teach it.
I think it's a space that we move into in our journey, and there
Yeah.
will be many beautiful light workers out there who never speak light language. So I think my understanding is that some of us are meant to do it for our journey, and others,
Okay.
have another different, well, same path but different gifts. Kanamishi kanamaha.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. That's good because I've said this many times too, that you can't teach anyone light language because it's very soul
No.
focused. It's very about the soul. But I've had people come to me that are really wanting to activate theirs to be able to speak. They want to speak and they want to, they know they have it, but they don't, they don't know how to actually express it. And we've had times where we sit together and we just do meditation and just bring in invite the guides to come through and just sort of make it easy for that person. And I've had a few people speak it almost immediately, and I've had other people that will do it like the following day because it's bringing them, helping them to, I suppose, come into that space. Because I think for anything to happen, you have to be open for it. Because a lot of
That's right.
people freak out about light language when they hear it,
I
because
know.
a lot of people relate it to being in church and speaking in tongues, and that can be quite freaky. I get it. But at the end of the day, even I have Christian friends that don't want to speak in tongues because they don't want to sound like that, and this is not trashing it or anything. I spoke like that and I sounded like that, and I was perfectly fine with doing that. I was not shy about it. I was okay. If that is the spirit of God and it lives in me, by all means, if that's how it's going to come out, I'm happy to have it. Thank you.
Absolutely. Well, some people, I know there's a lot who would love to speak light language. And just for those who are listening who don't know what light language is, and I have a lot of people, I do have a lot of people ask, because it comes out of me spontaneously
Yeah.
when it's meant to. This is again, it's just everything in divine time.
Yeah.
So I describe it as, if we have two human beings sitting there, and one's from New Zealand speaking English and the other one's from Spain speaking Spanish, and neither of us know each other's language, we wouldn't have a clue what they were saying. On the higher levels, those higher realms, higher and higher and higher, there's so many levels. And when we get beyond our own universe and start talking to those, around those 22 galaxies that form the galactic diamond, the language can, when it comes through, can sound really very, very strange. But you take someone from Arcturus, say a being from Arcturus who's speaking to a being from way up in Lyra somewhere, a different language, but they understand. So you and I can speak light language and our souls understand what's saying, where someone listening wouldn't have a clue what we were saying.
That's right. So in my experience of it, I have taught this. So, I don't know whether everybody should be speaking light language, but I do know that everyone has the ability to do that because the soul carries the memory of the languages of other lifetimes, of other star systems, all of that. And so when we've done activations, it's always been people that wanted that. And there you go again. It's about, I'm open and I would like to have that experience. I feel that I want to do it. I just don't know how. If I sit with you, Rose, and we do some meditation, perhaps that will happen. And we've had that actually happening. I also know from some of the teachings I've gone through that quite often the light language will come through an hour, like say you and I having a chat, and we We had this chat, and our souls know what we talked about.
Mm.
But I do believe the gift of discernment comes into this, and
Yes,
people can decipher from that. They can, thoughts fall into people's mindset, into their minds when they hear the language. If there is a message for somebody within that language, they
yes,
will hear it, because they will hear it, and they will hear it in the language that they speak currently here on earth. And, sometimes people even hear it in the language. And I know of somebody who was on a stage speaking in light language and in America, and he had not spoken a word of French, but somebody in the crowd was French, and later on came up to him and said, "I did not know you spoke French." And he said, "No, I didn't."
yes,
And he said,
yes,
"But you were telling me this." I know somebody,
yes,
I know of another story of somebody whose grandfather had been in the Second World War and was captured. He was a minister who was captured by the Russians. And so they say the story, and basically he kept praying, and he was talking to Jesus, and they kept saying, "You should not be speaking to Jesus. You're not allowed to say
oh,
Jesus. You were going to execute you." That's the story. I mean, that's a story, as I say, right?
hmm,
But let's learn from this. I don't know, because
yes,
I don't. Yeah. And anyway, so then he was put up for execution. And the next day, they put them up to be executed, and he was put on, and his the cloth bag or whatever was put over him. And then they asked any last requests, and he said he wanted to pray, and he prayed, and he was praying in tongues at
yes,
that, as he would call it, as a Christian man. And then before he knew it, nothing was happening, and he thought, what had happened? Because there was no gunshots going off. And then he was just like standing there, and then he took the sack off his head, and there they were, the soldiers were sitting down on their knees saying, "We didn't know you spoke Russian." Because through the speaking,
yes, yes,
he was
yes,
speaking in
yes,
tongues.
yes,
He had communicated something to them that they
oh,
understood,
yes,
and they were about to shoot him. And they were obviously
yes,
thinking, "Oh my gosh," like, whatever that message was. So
yes,
this I say, not because I was there and I witnessed it, but I say that because that was a story told by the great grandchild of this person. And
yes,
so I feel I've been feeling more and more as time goes by that light language is going to become very much spoken here on the planet, but it's going to be our communication tool that will speak to those that have no understanding of what they're actually going through. Because there are many people, there's a huge awakening happening, but there are many people that are also refusing to be awakened. They can see it
that's all right.
and all that. And
Each in their own time.
exactly. And we're okay with I've become
Mm,
quite okay with it, but I've also felt that here we are. This is another tool that has been given to us by the
yes,
heavenlies. We'll call it the heavenlies because it's high up there. Okay. By the heavenlies to say, "Come on, people of the planet, here you are. This is something you
mm,
have." And it can be the thing that can move the mountains without that language you're speaking, without, because when we speak in our language and we think I want to do something, um, the limitations of the programming kick in.
right. That's right. I had a very interesting experience
Yeah.
just a couple of weeks ago where I was in a stadium where there was a big event going on, and I was looking at some gemstones, and my feet were literally glued to the floor, and it just was a very strange experience. So I moved round the edge of the counter where I didn't feel so obvious, and the man who was behind the counter came up and spoke to me, and I said, it's not always a really comfortable experience
Yeah,
when you find yourself like this, but then you realize it's your mind.
it is.
And I said, look, I'm just feel like I'm stuck here at the moment, and so I feel I've got a message for you. And I just asked if he was open to receive, and he said yes.
Okay.
And I said, have you heard light language before? Because I could hear it, I could feel it in my throat. And he said no. And so the light language, it was short and sweet. It was quite lovely. And he said, oh my goodness, he said, my heart. And he put his hands on his heart, and they're the spontaneous things that are happening with our people now, with humanity.
Yeah.
If we have courage to perhaps, you know, we might end up with a bit of egg on our face sometimes, but what the hang, you know, we're following our guidance. There's no way I was going to be allowed to move from that place.
I'm hearing it. Yeah,
Until that little message was passed.
absolutely, absolutely. And you know, like I walk the dog every morning, and I believe that we are walking wherever we are walking on this planet, that the energy and the light that we have, because we have really expanded our radius, I think in the last 3 months, the radius of the light that we carry.
Yes.
And what we're actually doing is, this is a time for us to come out. You know, when a lot of us were like isolated and locked in because we didn't take any shots and things like that, or a specific one. And now is the time to come out, because that isolation helped us to go within and bring in and connect with the light and expand our light. And for whatever reason, this is the time to come out. And when I walk the dog, I do believe wherever I'm walking, my light's with me. It's going,
Yes.
obviously it's going with me, but it is affecting the land, the people, the creatures,
Yes.
everything, the environment around me. And quite often I will be speaking in light language. I will
Yes.
almost say tongues there now. But anyway, I will be speaking in light language. I speak to the dog in light language. And my light language over the years, it just like rolls out. You know, sometimes I get to radio and I start saying hello on the radio over the microphone, and then it starts to want to come out, and I'm like, oh gosh, you're just saying hello now. Just hold on, you know. So it just flows out, and
Yes.
this is it. This is what we are, the messengers of this beautiful golden language that we have, that is light. And we are the messengers, but some of us are here also to be the activators for others, because others do not understand how to get there, don't know how to get there, and they want to get there and they want to do it quickly. And that's going to be the tool, and it's going to be the thing that will help them. So, you know, this is how I feel about it. I do love it. I never knew what my purpose was on the planet. You know, I didn't, like other people have healing, they do healing with their hands, they do mediumship, they do, and I always thought, I wonder what mine could be. But because I'm a strong communicator, this is why I have this. So,
Yes.
Gail, I'm getting a feedback suddenly from your device.
Oh,
Is
okay.
something happening with it?
Not that
No.
I can see.
Okay. What I want to suggest we do now is, you wanted to show us a painting and you wanted to read something for everybody of the painting, and you have a poem. What, as we are going along now, what is it that you want to do first, the poem or the painting?
Okay, well, I think you've got a few paintings that I sent you.
Yes, I do.
So if you can just pop one up and I can explain
So
about that
was there
quickly and how it
one
happened.
that you had in particular, or that you want?
Okay, so you've got one there called
Solar
the
Gift.
Golden Lotus.
Sorry, the Golden Lotus. Yes, I've got that. Yep. Okay, wonderful. That's the one we're going to show. All right, we're going to share screen, everybody.
Do I have to do that too?
No. You're
okay.
just going to look for your document. Have you got your document up that you were going to talk from about it?
Oh, actually, the only one of if you can bring up a gift to humanity, I think would be a
Yes.
better one.
Yeah, I thought, yes, I thought that's what you wanted. So I'm going to put
yes,
that
we'll
one up.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, thank you.
So there's the gift of humanity.
Okay.
Is
So
that the
this
right
particular
one? The
yes,
solar
it
gift
is.
of humanity. Yeah.
That's right. And notice how solar is spelt with a U.
Yes, I see.
Okay, so now I've got to try and bring up. Oh, I can't see it.
So you go to the bottom of the toolbar.
Yes.
At the bottom of your screen, there's the toolbar, and you will find your documents there, because you took them out earlier, didn't you?
I did. It's disappeared.
So is the toolbar, the gray toolbar at the bottom of your screen?
It is.
Okay, and so you found it.
I've got share screen.
Okay, no, not share screen, and and it's not the bottom of the Zoom screen. It's the bottom of your screen on your computer.
That's right, because
If
I'm
you
not.
could, yeah, if you can find the little folder, I said the yellow one with the blue box inside it.
I'm going to press more. See if I can find it. No, that's not working. Oh, blow.
Okay, just take your time, Gail. You'll find it. You have it open. I know you do.
Yes, I do, but it's not showing. I've got, the mute. I've got the video one and all that stuff, but I haven't got my
So I think
computer
what
one.
you're looking at is the Zoom. You're looking
I
at the
am.
Zoom
It's
toolbar,
not.
but your computer toolbar
That's right. It's not showing on my
is
screen.
what can we do? Can you reduce the size of this screen? Don't close it, of the Zoom screen. Like, at the top where you've got the X, don't touch the X. The one next to it is
One
this.
here. Yes.
If you reduce the size of that, you might be able to find your documents, your actual toolbar.
No, that's not working. Oh, sorry about this.
Anyway, let's talk to it then. Let's talk to, you know what this means. You created it.
Okay, all right. It's just that the description for this, to read it out, was important for people. So,
So maybe let's pause the video and you find it, and then we'll come back. How about that? I'll pause this video.
oh, okay.
Okay, bear with me 1 second.
Okay.
Okay, everyone, we're back. And now we found the document and I'm going to share the screen. Okay, so bear with me 1 second for me to share the screen of this painting of Gail's, which is a solar gift for humanity. And it's very important that that Gail had to find that document so that she could read for us. Right, Gail, there we go.
Oh, thank you, Rose. So this painting came through unexpectedly for me to create or co-create with Spirit. It was 2 days after the total eclipse of the sun that the world has just experienced. And my experience was that it's been the most powerful painting that I have ever been asked to bring through, called A Solar Gift to Humanity. And the description that I was given that goes on the back of the painting this is what I was given. From the company that you call heaven, from the many mansion worlds of God, we, as one, bless humanity with this gift created in oneness. The frequency is fast and the vibration is high, as is love and its purity of all that is divine, all in its fullest embodiment. There are no words to express this creation, as the symbols and codes of light are so numerous. The languages of light from the many mansion worlds of God are always understood by those of pure heart, for it is sound, light, and colour that form creation, as varied as are the stars in your night sky, created with love and commitment for the highest good, as all breathe in the energies of a new dawn, the grand awakening of humankind. We, as one, love and bless you all. So that was the description I was given for the painting. Now, when each painting part is completed, the painting is energized. And my experience with this one, normally, it takes, say 5 minutes to energize a painting. This painting, the energizing it took ages. It just seemed to go on and on. The languages changed, and languages I'd never heard before. And it might look simple by design, but like all of us, beneath the surfaces are beautiful layers.
Yeah.
The encoded language of light seemed to take an age to complete, as I felt a never-ending stream of light being speak through me, and many sounds I had not heard before. When completed, I closed my eyes, and across my eyelids rushed hundreds of symbols and codes of light that had been absorbed into this painting from all who blessed this creation. So this is part of my soul's mission, which I've been asked to give to humanity. And so here it is. So if you're able to Download it onto your computer. Please feel free. Breathe and receive the pure love and the magic that's held within, that you too can absorb the energies with ease and grace, as I too was blessed during its creation. Now, when I finished painting this, I had to go and have plenty of water, and I had to go and ground myself. The energies are so high and it's so powerful, it can actually overload your nervous system. So anyway, simply uploading this and utilizing it with care will serve you well.
Yeah.
So that's my experience with that painting.
Wow. There's so many
Mm,
intricacies in this painting. There's so many unobvious things in the painting, as well as
abs-
everything that's standing out, right?
absolutely.
Wow.
Absolutely. So I get given the colors, and they were simply the beautiful turquoise and white and gold. And I'm
Yeah.
finding a lot of gold is coming through in the paintings now.
Mm.
Beautiful pastel colors. It's just like the colors of, it's paradise, Rose. It's
It
just
is.
beautiful,
It's
you know.
absolute paradise, that. You're right. You can see the
Heart
sun.
opening, feel
Yeah.
good.
Mm.
And you think, oh gosh, and you just forget everything that's gone before us, all the
Yeah.
lifetimes, all the pain, all that stuff.
Yeah.
And it just brings you into the space that we're moving into. And we're creating this. This is
Yeah.
what we're here to do,
Yeah.
to bring forward the energies of the new earth and the new human.
Yeah.
Our
Yeah.
bodies are changing, they're becoming more crystalline.
Mm.
So we're having to take a lot more care, a
That's
lot more
right.
care of ourselves.
And you can see the
Mm.
sea in this one. I see the Caribbean Sea. I was in the Caribbean a couple of times in the last, say, 7 to 8 years. And if you've been in the Caribbean, that's the color of the sea, especially the top of it. You've got all those purple hues coming through here as well. But it's almost like, the sun and the water blending together is creating this. It's amazing, isn't it?
Mm. Well, the symbol in the center, so the
Yeah,
gold leaf is round the portal,
yeah,
the written light language, and the
yeah.
symbol in the center is covered in gold leaf.
Okay, okay, wow.
Mm.
Okay. So do you have an idea, like if you know those symbols around the symbol in the center, do they represent anything?
Um, not that I could read.
Okay.
Now and then, and if I'm in a different space that I'm in now,
Yeah.
I could possibly read them, but it would be read in light language.
Okay. Okay.
So, because the light language is a higher vibration than our
That's
own.
right. Yeah, that's
And
right.
if we could read all the light language in our own language, well, then what's the point?
Mm.
Do you know what I
Mm.
mean?
Yeah. And yeah, no, I know, I understand. I just thought that maybe they represent something that you had a download of it. That's all. That's why I was
Yes, that's
asking.
right.
Yeah.
Mm,
Okay. Wow. Beautiful. And thank you for sharing with us, Gail. This is really lovely. Really
you're
lovely.
well.
So, are we okay to stop sharing because you want to read a
Yes.
poem for us, or shall we
Oh,
read the?
yes.
Okay.
No, I don't know how much time we've got left.
So we have got about I will say another 10 minutes. So if you
Okay,
want to
then.
read the poem now, that would be good. And then what we'll talk about then is any offerings you have coming up for the collective and where you can be contacted. And then you could do your concluding light language before we say goodbye to everybody. How's that?
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Well, that sounds lovely. So, like my paintings, I've been given many paintings that come through, many poems. And it used to drive me bananas. I couldn't even walk up the orchard without a poem coming through. So this one came through right back, gosh, look, it's just about to the date, on the 12th of May 2013.
Wow.
Wow. And it's called, isn't it amazing, the synchronicity? So it's called Show Me. Show me what I need to see. Show me all I need to be. Show me is my plea. What is it lights the fire in me? What parts I still need to set free? I know I hold the master key to all that is divinity. Open my eyes that I may hear the words of wisdom my heart holds dear, as I move through my illusory fear, my future to view as crystal clear. I call from my soul that age-old seer, from across time and space, our realities freer, knowing inside that feeling of wow, telling us our time is now.
Wow.
Short and sweet.
Beautiful, beautiful. So apt for this time and space.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. I love it. I love
Yeah.
it.
Thank you
I'm
for that.
very richly blessed.
Oh, absolutely.
Inamishi
Absolutely.
kwanama taki nanaha. So I have my Arcturian team here with me now. They're
Yeah.
very patient. Inamishi kwanamaha. So I'll just ask them what it is. Yes, they want to activate everyone's joy chakra. Okay, so and it doesn't take long, and
Okay.
we'll just see what unfolds.
Okay.
Okay, so we just invite people to take some lovely deep breaths. Make sure they have their feet on the floor so they're nice and grounded. Feel their shoulders drop and set their intention from their heart and their soul that they're open to receive more joy in their life. Mana ishiki manana etikina mana hishiki. Mana ishiki nyana mahishiki nyana anaha. Well, joy is who you are, dear ones. Okay, it is why you were created, to create joy in everything you do, everywhere you are. Your joy chakra helps to balance all the what you call baggage held in your base chakra. And so now we invite you to envisage sitting next to your base chakra, a beautiful sphere of shining, translucent, beautiful, bright magenta pink. And we invite you to see the vibration of this spreading throughout every single cell of your body. And so this beautiful magenta ball is spinning and spinning and spinning and spinning and sending that beautiful vibration of joy and of bliss to every cell. So be open, beloveds, be open. Experience the bliss in your life. Whatever you need to lift you from your daily grind, take it. Hold it close in your heart and your soul, whatever it takes. A fluffy kitten, a beautiful flower, snowy mountain, clouds in the sky, the laughter of a newborn child. Pop onto that tube, you call it, you watch on your computer, and look for babies laughing. Manana hashikika. For there you have bliss, unconditional love and bliss. Nana hashiki, nana mahishika, nana mana heshi. Nana mana kishikinyana sanamasasa. Thank you, dearest ones. Take this as a gift. Know that it is part of you. It is part of what you came in with, dearest ones, when you were born. It is what you bring from one incarnation to another across all time and space, across all those timelines that you have experienced and are experiencing life at this time. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Mana ishiki nyana manasa. Oh, thank you, thank you, Rose.
Wow, that was awesome. And I keep yawning. And normally when I'm yawning, I'm clearing. This is really good.
Oh, they're funny.
Oh,
They're
they're
very
funny.
fun.
They are pretty funny. Well, thank you so much, everybody. Team Arcturian. I don't know what else to say. Arcturian, Orion, Cosmos, and I forgot the other name. I'm sorry.
That's all right. Oh, you want to see my team, my Arcturian team, Alto.
Alto. Yeah,
Alto.
Yala makoto de karate koro chila kata tutus karakte una kata ni kirai ta haramato ta hati to Oops. You can't do it. Oh my goodness. Gail, what's coming up for you that you're doing with anybody, as in energy healing or anything like that? What is it that you'd like us to know that people can contact you about if they wanted to join in?
Oh, okay. Okay, well, where I'm living now, I'm in like many people, are living in a state of absolute change and wondering where I'm going to end up next. So being sort of transient, not holding the events that I used to hold, but I do our get-togethers on Zoom, and have clients come on Zoom if they would, they feel they'd like to receive some energies, if they're, and sometimes we just have a chat session to see what comes up, because there's people who are going through so much stuff and they don't know what's happening or why.
Yeah.
So that's part of what I do. That's why I call it a healing facilitator.
Mm,
So my team, or our teams combined, bless me with the tools which I pass on in the form of light language. If I'm in person, then it can be hands-on if necessary.
yeah,
And Rose, everywhere we go, we never stop working.
that's true.
Well, I don't like to use that word. We never stop dancing. You
Good
talked
stuff.
about
Yeah.
going for a walk.
Yeah.
When we're walking, the light language is coming out, and so we're connecting with, aligning all
Yeah.
those grid lines through Mother Earth.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah.
It's
So
wonderful.
I'll put your contact details in the description box if anybody wants to get in touch.
Thank you.
We tried to do maybe email address if they are interested, or something
Yes,
like that, rather than a telephone number, because we don't want trolling and all that happening to people unnecessarily. And I'll put that in the description box for everyone so that they can get in touch with you, if they
thank
would
you.
like to, have a session with you, because I think that is important, for us to share, where we're talking about what you do, is to be able to tell people, hey, you do it, and you do it with people, you do individual sessions. So of course,
Yes.
this is the way they can contact you.
And of course, I do the lovely personal soul paintings as well for people.
That's right.
So
Yeah.
they provide me with their given name at birth, their place of birth, and their date of birth, and their team accesses their Akashic records, and I get given their colours, and the painting gets done and energized, etc., just like the other painting that you saw there today.
Yeah.
They can just hang it in their room, meditate with it, and they've got that beautiful energy. And there's the blessing that goes on the back that gives them just a little bit of guidance.
Yeah.
And I look, I'm in heaven when I'm doing this work. I'm
Yeah.
just love it. So
Yeah.
thank you, Rose, for the opportunity, and thank you for everyone who is listening. I hope you've gained something from the sharing, which I love sharing.
Well, I really
We
love
share
it.
the good stuff.
I love that we had the session, because I love that there was so much light language in it, and it was having a conversation, and it was coming in and just talking, and it was flowing naturally. And that's what I love. And I think
Mm.
that's just awesome. I'm going to share this on the Light Language Messenger channel as well, not just Great Awakening
Oh,
Generator,
thank you.
because I just
Yes.
feel
Well,
like,
I use Facebook as
yeah,
well. I know people, think it's terrible, but I use it to spread the love and light, and
I feel
it works.
when it comes to social media, whatever works for you. Because I know
Yes,
that some people, like, I'm not on Facebook. I haven't been on Facebook for years, and I don't intend to go back, but it works for other people,
that's
you
right.
know?
Works for
And
me. Mm.
exactly. And that's all that matters. Whatever works for you, everything is relative and relevant. And all these
Yes,
things have
it's
been put
perfect.
there for us so that we will have that instrument, that train that takes us to the place where we need to be to get the message across. So, so it be. So, yeah.
Thank
Well,
you.
Gail, thank you so much for your time. I know that, there's a lot happening in your world, but I appreciate you, and I appreciate that you came to chat with me today and you gave me your time. You didn't just give it to me, you gave it to the collective in doing this. And
Lovely.
and we have
Yay.
fulfilled our purpose together today in one way.
We definitely have.
Thank you
Okay.
so much.
Thank you. Lots of love to you all.
Lots of love, and everyone, lots of love to you. And thank you for joining us here on the Great Awakening Generator. I'll catch you next time. And until then, and always keep reaching for the stars. Namaste, everyone. Bye-bye.
Namaste. Bye.